Okay, this morning we are going to make oatmeal, a big pot of oatmeal that's going to feed all the children and maybe an extra bowl for Mark, but Mark and I are having eggs along with this breakfast. So in the pot I have 7 cups of water. I'm going to add 3.5 cups of oatmeal. So this is a half cup measure. 1 cup, 2 cup, 3 cup, and a half. I did 7 cups of water, but we like to have a half water, half milk ratio. So I'm using dry milk that I got for cheaper than regular milk here in Maine. I don't always find that deal, but it was this time. So I'm going to add 3.5 scoops, which, hold on, we don't need sugar yet. Hold on. 3.5 scoops, which will make it be a proportion of 3.5 cups of water to 3.5 cups of milk. Here, you can help me in just a minute. So like I said, 3.5 scoops of dry milk powder. No, you'll do the sugar. Uriah wants to help with the sugar this morning. So for this big pot of oatmeal, with the 3.5 cups of oatmeal, we do about a half a cup of sugar. So that's 2 of these quarter cups. Yeah, good job. Oh, let me get it, and then you can help pour it. It's a little under a half cup. There we go. And a sprinkle of salt. You're going to do the salt? Okay, good job. Good job. Nope, that's enough. So then we cook it. I usually get it to just on high to get it hot. And then I will turn it down to about, our stove has about, 12 settings on the dial. Virginia, come on over here. So I usually, once it starts to get hot, I turn it down. I had already had the water on before I started adding things. Turn it down to about there. And then we just mix and cook until the oatmeal is thick. I will show you when the oatmeal finishes the thickness that we like it. Okay, so this is the chocolate oatmeal that we made. After I turned off the video before, we added 2 to 3 tablespoons of cocoa, depending on how chocolatey you want it. So can I show them? So it's a thick consistency now. And we put it in individual bowls, and the kids get to choose whether they put on some coconut flakes or whether they put peanut butter in their bowls. Each has favorites. Abigail's favorite is peanut butter.
My favorite is coconut.
The baby's favorite is peanut butter. So everybody has their bowl. Yeah, everyone has their bowl of oatmeal. That's their breakfast, and Mark and I are making eggs. So that is food diary day number 2, what we're having for breakfast. Okay, the rest of our day 2 diary, Mark had eggs with some cheese on top, and that's the end of his coffee. And here are my eggs and cheese with some salsa on a tortilla and my cup of coffee. So that was the end of breakfast, along with the kids finishing their chocolate oatmeal. Real life food diary. This is what we were having for lunch. We had some people over that we were evangelizing to, so lunch took a turn as I was just trying to get something quick on the table. So as you'll see, we had some leftover bags of things that were in the pantry. My mom had bought us some Cheez-Its, and my mom had bought us some popcorn. There were a couple sunflower seeds. That stuff was just left over when I did my pantry clean out this morning, so I had set it on the table for lunch. We had some pickles, those leftover ones that were in the fridge. Yes, you can. And a new package that had been in the pantry. I cut up some carrots and some cheese. Uriah is pointing it out for you. And we had some popcorn, which the kids had snacked on a little bit before, and this was what was left of it. We had a much bigger bowl before. So as you can see, this was just real life lunch at our house today as we tried to finish up some leftovers from the pantry as I made my my meal plan for the week. And the friends left at about noon. So I had to quickly find something for everybody to eat. So that is today's lunch.
Mama, can I put this on?
Hi guys, welcome to Herding Little Cows and the last meal of our day 2 food diary. This morning for the breakfast of this day, I'm actually filming this later, but this morning we had chocolate oatmeal, which you will see on this video. And for supper, we were going to be out. We were going to be doing evangelism, so I put potatoes in the crock pot that cooked all day, so we got home to baked potatoes that were hot and ready. We added chili that had been in the freezer, so I warmed up about 4 cups of chili that people could put on their baked potato along with sour cream, cheese, or butter. They had a choice of those things. And when we got home, I started a large pot of water, and while that was getting hot, I went outside, shucked the ears of corn, and we put 8 ears of corn on the cob in there to cook while we got the potatoes ready on people's plates. So that made an easy, quick supper of what we already had on hand. And I was going to have lasagna because I'm not eating as many carbs at dinner as potatoes and corn on the cob. So while I got to enjoy some of the corn on the cob, I also had something different for dinner that night, but it was stuff that was already accounted for in our budget. I was just going to mention here, I've had someone ask me about my health and my being out of breath when I do these videos. I am now 26 weeks pregnant, and I am always out of breath during pregnancy. I have an issue with my nose and breathing, so I breathe through my mouth, and that is why I am so loud. It's not anything to do with not feeling well. It just has to do with heat and humidity and pregnancy. So glad you joined us for day 2. We will do another day of what our family typically eats soon. See you later.